What's poppin'? Welcome to this week's edition of Rumble House Sports. Baby, I'm your host, Jay.
And this is Chris.
And this your boy, Redman.
Now, one of the debates that were going around in the wrestling universe was, where does Brock Lesnar rank? Does he break into the top 5 of WWE wrestlers of all time? Now, you guys know where I stand with this. I really don't like the major push that they give him. He can leave and then come back and be in the title hunt. I don't like that because, they did it with everybody, right? The Rock would always come back and main event WrestleMania. So did John Cena. But it just never quite sat well with me when they did it with Brock Lesnar. Now, to be fair, The Rock and John Cena are in my top 5 wrestlers of all time. I just can't put Brock Lesnar there. Chris, where does Brock Lesnar rank, or does he even make it into your top 5?
The simple answer is he doesn't even make top 10. And I mean,
I like that.
And it's not about what Brock Lesnar hasn't done. It's about what the other people have done to be in those top spots. You can't give him Mount Rushmore. You can't give him top 5. I don't even think that you could give him top 10. And to me, it's about who can you take off of these lists? I mean, there's so many greats out there. It's about who are you removing? Brock Lesnar, we know that he's never he's a beast. Like, he gets in the ring and he wrecks stuff. Like, he's a dominant. His physique has always been great. He's a dominant force within the ring. Suplex City, so on and so forth. But I think there's a couple of things that hinder him. Number one is most of his career he's been a heel, so I think that hinders him. Number two is he's never been that great on the mic. His mic skills isn't, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the mic skills like that. This is why they paired him with Paul Heyman for most of his career, for basically his whole career. So from an entertainment perspective and mic skills and overall what he's done for the company, I don't even know if you can put Brock Lesnar in top 10. But I'll let Redman go.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Redman. So what are you thinking on this? Chris made a lot of good points. He made a lot of good points. Like I said, I don't even have him in my top 5. And top 10, that's a bit of a stretch.
How can you even make an argument for top 10?
I think you can squeeze his star power. I think can squeeze him in the top 10.
He has star power.
But as far as top 5, he's definitely not there.
Entertainment and overall character wise,
I mean, his destruction kind of leaves that out. But Redman, Red McMahon, where do you place Brock Lesnar in your top 5? If he's there.
Top 5 is hard to argue with. It is hard, but I would have to fill it out because I don't necessarily disagree with his position being a top 5 wrestler, in my opinion. He's definitely top 10. Definitely. I mean,
wrestling. I'll give you that. Wrestling
ability. Yeah.
Because let's not forget, like, he's actually on the list of real wrestlers and not just
he's a collegiate champion, multiple time collegiate champion.
Exactly. So when we talk about wrestling,
pure wrestling.
Obviously, you can throw him in the top.
But we're talking about the WWE. Where does he rank with with everything together? Because y'all know The Rock is literally my number 1.
Yeah, I'm not
he's
talking
like
about
the most electrifying man in sports. But go ahead.
I'm not talking about in-ring ability. Yeah, I'm not talking
Go
about
ahead, Red McMahon. Where he at?
Well, the only point that I would give to Chris is his ability to talk on the mic or cut promos.
His voice never matched his body.
I think that would be I think that's the only point that I would give Chris as to why that would hinder his place on the, I guess, on the mountaintop or Mount Rushmore. But everything else, I mean, I'm gonna point this out to y'all. How was Suplex City built?
It was built on the back of Brock Lesnar. I agree. Although it really should have been given to Kurt Angle, but that's a story for another day.
I mean, we can talk.
While we on that topic, I mean, it could really go to any. I
Eddie Guerrero.
That Kurt Angle.
It could have went to Eddie Guerrero.
Chris Benoit.
He came in before. He came in before Brock Lesnar, and I'm telling you, man, the matches that Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar used to have back in the day. That is a very underrated rivalry between Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. Those matches used to be spectacular. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar's voice never matched his body. Go ahead. It didn't.
But no. What I was gonna say is that Suplex City was built on the back of John Cena.
Literally.
There was no Suplex City until John Cena got into the ring to decide to fight Brock Lesnar. And while we being real, I mean, Brock Lesnar essentially sent John Cena into a part-time wrestling role. Prior to that rivalry, before the John Cena Brock Lesnar, John Cena was very much still a full-time wrestler. It wasn't until after that rivalry that John Cena became a part-time wrestler and started to go into Hollywood, because Brock Lesnar dismantled John Cena. And John Cena is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Imagine how I felt watching that rivalry. That was one of the most one-sided rivalries that I've ever witnessed John Cena be a part of. I mean, it just was, and I understand that, you know, the matches are predetermined. I get that. But still, for John Cena to be considered the greatest of all time, right? He's tied with Ric Flair as the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. I personally believe that they will allow him to break the record at some point. So with that being said, for Suplex City to be built on the back of somebody they consider the greatest of all time, how can you not put somebody like that definitely top 10, but even not be considered top 5? And we've had this conversation before. The argument can be made that Brock Lesnar is the most dominant champion. That we have ever witnessed. I mean, dominant can still go in the category of best. I mean, if you're dominant, how can you not be considered the best? And then to your argument, Chris,
I'll answer your question.
But look, hold on. To your argument about him being a heel, Ric Flair was a heel his whole damn career.
But here's the deal,
and
bro.
a lot of people.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But here's the deal. You made more of a point for John Cena being inducted into the Hall of Fame than you did for Brock Lesnar being into the top 5. But go ahead, Chris.
No, but how? How is that possible? I'm making a point that if Brock Lesnar built Suplex City, that's a real thing now. Obviously,
it's a place it's a place you can go to.
Yeah,
now?
It's a place you want to go to. Suplex City, you know, on the back of somebody that's considered the greatest of all time.
Go with me tonight.
He built it against him. He literally forced that person into a part-time role. So how is that not building his case for making an argument that he should be considered one of the greatest?
So Christian, answer the question. Are you putting him in the top 10? I know you're not putting him in the top 5.
That's the question.
Absolutely.
He did say that.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're not talking about most dominant. If we're talking about most dominant,
let's not get it
hold on.
Hey, can Chris
fans back in the day?
Can Chris answer the question?
If we're talking about most dominant, Brock Lesnar is easily on the Mount Rushmore. He could be number 1 for most dominant. I don't know who else you want to throw in there. But when we talk about overall, what have they been for the WWE, there's a lot of things that takes into account. It's more than just in-ring ability. It's more than that. It's more than just being dominant inside of the ring, man. We got to take into account of we got promo ability, entertainment value.
I like
period.
That. You take Hulk Hogan, for instance. Hulk Hogan was not the best wrestler, but he's definitely probably gets on that Mount. I'm about 80% sure he gets on that Mount Rushmore.
Bro, I can name, you know what I'm saying? I can put 10 people right now. You know what I'm talking about?
He gotta be above Macho Man Randy Savage.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Hulk Hogan. Of course, if you want to swap out Rick, but just for the sake of the argument right now, I'll throw Ric Flair in. But, if somebody wants to take him out because of the latest things to come out, I can understand that. But you got so many names. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Triple H, Y2J, Sting. I mean that's like seven right there, and I can easily throw 3 more in there that would Kurt Angle. Even probably Eddie, Shawn Michaels. Come on, bro. Yeah. It's what Bret Hart, right. The man behind your wall. Bret Hart.
He's
that's
right.
10 people. That's 10 people right there, bro. That I just named. Are you putting? Who are you removing from what I just said? Who are you taking off that list and throwing Brock Lesnar? It's not about what Brock hasn't done. It's about who you have to take off top 10 to put him there.
I like that. That's pretty
Out
good.
of all the names I said, who you taking off?
He ain't taking off nobody.
Chris Jericho.
I do like that, though. No, he can't take off. You can't take off Chris Jericho.
No, I just threw him in. I just threw him in there, but
I'm just saying. You asked me.
You
Chris
did
Jericho.
You can take off Chris Jericho, but I think I said
in the argument. Not everybody is going to agree with this, and I know I'll get some backlash for this, but shit. I've been calling what it is. Argument can be made that I would take Sting off and put Brock Lesnar in over Sting.
Oh God.
Nah, not his. This man has literally helped 4 different promotions. You can't do that. WCW, nope. WCW.
Because Sting ain't never really been a part of the WWE. He didn't come a part of the WWE until, he wasn't even in his prime no more.
Okay,
and
3.
One match?
WCW, TNA, and now AEW.
All I'm saying is that he has it's a difficult argument to put him in top 10 out of the names I just gave you. I can take off Y2J and throw in Savage. I can take off Y2J and throw in the Randy Man Savage. I can throw off Y2J and throw in the Ultimate Warrior.
Guys, production is in my ear. We can go about this all day. Production is in my ear. Chris, I know that you have somewhere that you have to be, but I want to get you guys out of here on this question before you have to leave. And Redman, we can finish this up. But The Rock actually debuted some of his rap chops where he was on a song called Face to Face with Tech 9. How are you grading this Rock ability? Look, Red McMahon don't even want to go forward on this because he just really want to let it out on this top 5. But production told me we had to move on in regards to this. But what are we saying? What are we grading The Rock? Like, there's nothing that he can't do, right? He's a bodybuilder now. He carried the Attitude Era along with DX and Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was at one point the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and now he's on one of the greatest lyricists within current rap in Tech 9. He is a part of that. How you feeling about his rapping chops, Chris?
Listen, The Rock is my GOAT for WWE, all of wrestling.
That's a fact. Me too.
Period. The Rock is my GOAT. With that being said, man, it was a bit cheesy. I'm sorry. It was
watching him move.
And The Rock, and even the rhymes, the simple rhyme, hour and devour, and we're taking hours, and it was a little bit cheesy, man. I'm sorry, but The Rock is the only one that would get a pass for doing this because he is The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my
But,
thing is, like I said, his movement seemed very generic. Red McMahon, how you feeling on this, bro?
I'm not gonna jap him up off that first stone. I'm not.
Red McMahon, how you feeling on this, bro?
I mean, give kudos to The Rock for staying in character because it definitely looked like he was about to hit somebody with the people's elbow or something.
He hit the eyebrow. He said, "What's my effing name?"
That was probably the best part.
But nah, the Rock is the GOAT, and I just say, I mean, kudos to him for trying to do something different. The Rock is a very busy man. I don't know how he fit the time in to do something like that. But,
I would say John Cena definitely, the Doctor of Thugonomics definitely
is a better rapper. He is a better rapper.
Is a better rapper.
He is a better rapper. Hey, Chris, man, I really appreciate your time on Rumble House Sports, bro. Hopefully you'll be able to kick it with us next week, man. We appreciate that. When we come back, we will discuss who won the draft right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we all know that the draft recently just completed between Raw and SmackDown. Now, of course, y'all know we're going to talk about this. Who, in fact, won the draft? Red McMahon, how are you feeling? Do you feel that Raw did the right thing by splitting up New Day? They went ahead and kept them split, which I know that was something that you didn't think was going to happen. Obviously, they split the championships. Like, that was a given. You're not going to have the same championships on the same show. So we knew that was going to happen. We saw some call-ups. The most interesting and I think the most exciting from a full consensus is Hit Row is going to be the biggest watched call-up. How are you feeling about this, and who do you give the crown to as far as the draft?
Well, I definitely give the crown to SmackDown, but that's obvious, and it's only because obviously we know that the people behind the scenes obviously are in charge of the draft. They literally get to choose which superstars go on which show, and with obviously Fox being the A show at the moment, the draft was always meant to favor SmackDown. I mean, that was just the way it was going to be. That was just the way it was predetermined. Now, with that being said, I do feel like Raw definitely made some good adjustments with the draft. I feel like Raw will be in much better shape moving forward. They've added some nice pieces over to Raw. Like you said, I did not agree with the New Day being split up, but hey, at least we'll get a nice match between the New Day and the Usos. I mean, we've seen the match a dozen times, but the matches are always good, so. But
I kind of hate that they split it to where, I know I'm gonna catch some heat for this because the one complaint against WWE is that they hold on to rivalries a little bit too long. But man, Street Profits and the Usos, it was just great TV, man. Now, I am happy for the Street Profits moving over to Raw, and so that tag team division is going to get some much needed life. But I just kind of hate that they didn't allow that rivalry to keep going because they gave us some excellent matches, man.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, the rivalry, ever since the Usos came back for the most part as a team, they've had kind of somewhat of a rivalry going on with the Street Profits. And the thing is that you don't want to hinder the Street Profits momentum right now. And so obviously the Usos and Roman Reigns, the bloodline, they're on an incredible run, and you don't see them losing the titles anytime soon. So with that being said, if you have the Street Profits on the same show with the Usos, it's going to hinder their momentum, and because they're huge fan favorites. So why not move them over to Raw, have them, maybe go after RK Bro
on there? Like, they're not going to, I mean, they may not get any push. I mean, obviously they're going to get a push because they have been called up. So we're going to see them in a lot of squash matches in the beginning. They're probably going to come out and immediately start beef, maybe with the Usos. Maybe they don't like the way the Usos is running. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get thrown in that light to see the way that the crowd is going to react to Hit Row. But
that's the key right there.
I do like your point. I do like your point. Why not allow Street Profits to go over to Raw and continue that momentum and give, like I said, give life to that division?
I mean, like you said, you just said something that I really think is the key. I mean, it really all determines on how they connect with the audience. If they come out and the audience loves them, then Hit Row will go on to be what we've seen, as the Street Profits become and New Day become. But if the audience doesn't want, because one thing I have noticed is that the audience with NXT, it's a different audience than the audience on the main roster. It's a much different audience. So just because you were over with the NXT audience doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be over with the main roster.
We've seen that a lot. So, I mean, the really good ones, when you think about Kevin Owens and you think about Finn Balor, the really good ones come and make an impact, but you see people kind of get lost in the shuffle. For example, Sami Zayn. Now, whether that's Sammy's fault or whether that's, the brand's fault, you can see them come over and not really do anything. So I like that. It is a different crowd.
I mean, and then the thing is too, man, I mean, the issue with WWE is, or that I feel like a lot of fans feel is definitely not the talent. The argument can be made that this is probably the deepest amount of talent that, the roster has ever had. The issue obviously is the writing, the booking, that were the issue, the finishes or whatever.
Bro. Let me tell you, so I was trying to, because you talking about the rivalries and stuff like that. Do you know when you go and read the description on Fox for the show, it says top superstars battle it out in long rivalry, battle out long rivalries. That's kind of wild. That, you know what I'm saying? That they really that's the way that they say. Yeah, bro. Like, look, I'm about to grab it now. Watch this, just real quick, because the fact that it says the superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment do battle in elaborate, long-running rivalries. That is the description of WWE SmackDown. Even Fox knows it's a problem.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, man. But no, so you're saying that SmackDown won the draft.
Yeah. I mean, it's hands down. I have no doubt about the fact that SmackDown won the draft. But like I said, that's expected with SmackDown supposedly being an A show. But having said that, though, I do feel like Raw, they made it good enough moves with the Raw brand to make Raw a lot more interesting moving forward.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely see with that. Like I said, I think that the best move, and they had some call-ups as well. It just didn't seem that great to me. Like, oh, this is what we're getting. But maybe you have to be a little bit more into NXT to see whether or not that's going to happen. But I didn't see, like I said, I didn't see a Kevin Owens. I didn't see a Finn Balor, right? I didn't see those type of call-ups. I mean, you think about somebody like Ricochet. Ricochet is there, and he got drafted to Raw, but Ricochet is just kind of, hey, let's show these people something exciting real quick. But man, it is what it is, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all for kicking it with us on Rumble House Sports, man. Y'all can kick it with us again next week. Tell your mama, tell your daddy that y'all get y'all favorite news from Rumble House Sports, man. It's your boy Jay.
And this your boy Red, man.
And let's get it.